What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the No Good Podcast. We're joined by a special guest. Coop Kana is here. He's been here before. Welcome to the pod, good sir. We're here to talk about some hip hop.
It's funny, man. We only have Coop on here when it comes to J. Cole stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's coming full circle again.
I'm cold war for life.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I guess we can start with that. Dreamville is going to be having a little bit of an expansion, doing some multimedia stuff, and they're going to be extending. I'm assuming they're going to be expanding their roster as well because they have kind of like a smaller roster than normal. But so Dreamville is making moves, and it's funny that this news comes out within the same time frame that we have all that stuff about Top Dog and TDE and them breaking up. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know it's not true now. Kendrick came to say, I'm not leaving. There's no truth to that. But it's just interesting to me that this is now the time where Dreamville is doing that. So what do you guys think about that?
I definitely think they're trying to take the place from TDE because if you think about it, a lot of the other collectives, I think they're on their downslide. Are they not?
Yeah.
QC is not doing that well anymore, right?
True, yeah.
TDEs.
QC, 4Hunnid Entertainment, that's where you go for your rap career to die. Uzi, falling off, has to wear a dress. Album still didn't sell. Migos, issues as well, too. Money issues, all of that. You can go on forever.
Good music's falling off.
Good music as well too. We can talk about that. Actually, yeah, for a quick second, you have and we reacted to it a few days ago, that new Benny the Butcher song, Timeless. You have Big Sean on there talking about him only getting so much money from good music. And then he came out recently when he was talking to Big Joe in the media. You guys know who I'm talking about. And it's not Joe Budden, it's Fat Joe. But he basically sat down with Fat Joe and he was saying, man, his first advance that he got from good music. Actually, let me ask you guys a question. How much money do you think he made from his first advancement on good music? He signs to Kanye, the Cinderella story. How much money do you think he got?
$1 million.
$250K.
Oh, you guys are pretty close, man. It's more around the ballpark of $15,000.
Wow.
That wasn't close at all, dude.
Yeah, I know. I was being very sarcastic. $15,000 he got as advancement for his first check from Kanye and good music, man.
Oh, wow.
That's disrespectful. Holy crap.
It is disrespectful.
You're gonna do that? You're gonna do that to the guy who dropped Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay? You're gonna do that to? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Dude, I don't even understand that because now Kanye's on his whole thing about giving people their masters, and he's so much on top of that.
Well, no, let's be real. Let's be real. Actually, he only cares about that because he's trying to get his own masters. He don't give a crap about nobody else's masters, nobody else's money. He's just worried about his own, man. We go back to Kanye all the time on this podcast, and there's one thing that is goddamn sure: Kanye West is a selfish individual. He's only thinking about himself. So, like with the whole Big Sean stuff, I would be surprised if Kanye even cares. You know what I mean? Like he's got other things in mind, and mainly maybe even Lil Uzi Vert in mind. You know what I mean? But
I see Segway King. Do your thing. Hey, were you playing the Lakers game last night, bro? Because he's putting up some buckets right now. Say less.
Well, like I feel like it's kind of redundant to get to the point where I appreciate some confidence out of a guy like Lil Uzi Vert. You got to be that confident if you want to get to that certain point. And obviously he's gotten to that certain point. So he needs to be that confident. To say that you can make a hit and you're not Kanye West, you can do it anytime you want. I would give Lil Uzi Vert the recommendation of going to listen to Kanye West's discography because for a long time, Kanye West was the person who could create a hit whenever he wanted to. So
and he's had way more albums with it, I believe.
Way more albums, yeah. And platinum and gold, this guy.
And silver.
Yeah. Lil Uzi Vert dropped All My Friends Are Dead and thinks he can drop hit after hit. I haven't heard maybe one more hit. Well, he got the Uzi Shuffle. Was that the next hit he had?
No. I'm being honest. Didn't he have 2 albums come out recently?
Yeah, he had the album and they did deluxe version. The deluxe version was way better. It had all the feature artists on there: Thugs, Futures, 21 Savage, Yasirski, or whatever it's called. All the songs, but yeah, man,
I don't think those are that much hits though on that album. There wasn't no standoffish hit.
He hasn't had a big hit as EXO Tour Life compared to all the stuff he's had. he hasn't had a hit since EXO Tour Life to that level. But compared to Kanye, he's had so many more hits. Like you name it, every album that Ye drops is probably a hit on it for like a really good majority of his career.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's going to Uzi and saying, I love Uzi. I'd be saying the same thing about Steve Jobs. I'd be feeling just like Uzi. I feel like Ye is just,
Who does he
slightly
not feel
dissing
like?
him.
Who does
That's
he
what I'm saying. I feel like he's throwing shots because, like,
Yes.
obviously everyone knows Ye's not like Steve Jobs, so it's pretty much the same parallel. Everyone knows Uzi's not like Ye.
Yeah, it's like if me and you, at this podcast, we're like, obviously we love Joe Rogan. We're like,
That's mad wild.
we're not Joe Rogan. We're not out here going, wow, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. We're not doing it. We're a podcast.
But we can get hits when we want to.
Yeah, but we could get them hits when we want to, especially on Thursday nights, bro. You can see us on Thursdays talking.
Don't give him the cheat code, fam. Don't give him the cheat code, fam.
Or like it's like if I were to be like, yeah, me and Stephen A. Smith, we do similar stuff. It's like, no, we don't, bro. I'm not. I'd be lucky to be in Stephen A. Smith's shoes, man. Get out of here.
That's a really big parallel there, because
Bro, I think it's like a similar parallel between Kanye and Steve Jobs.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence.
No, one more thing I would like to say is even Lil Uzi Vert. It's not that he produces his own beats or anything like that too, which Kanye he brings the whole collective on. So if you think about it, he is actually making his own hits.
Yeah,
Lil Uzi would be selecting a beat to make a hit on.
Exactly, and he hasn't really been that successful with it ever since he dropped that one single that took over the summer. It just hasn't worked out that way. So I don't even know where he gets the right to say that type of thing. And I guess this goes back to the state of hip hop, and like I know Nat's gonna pull up the sales in a bit. We'll talk about that, but like it goes back to the state of hip hop where it's like, who's really in control of this ship right now? I remember like a while ago, 20 years ago, Mos Def dropped Black on Both Sides. He said, I'm doing this because I want to know who's gonna be steering the ship. And right now, there's no real like clear, definitive leader of hip hop who's steering the ship and like guiding us through any of this. You know what I mean?
In terms of what? In terms of who? Because I can name a few.
Go ahead.
Drake.
But I want you to give me more specific in terms of guiding like overall, like the hip hop, or just specifically for like
that direction.
Like y'all just mentioned it. Like, look, good music isn't dropping anything. I'm talking like a collective.
Oh, like collective, yeah.
It's a collective.
I do agree. There's artists that are doing their things. Like Drake always does his thing. Kanye when he drops does his thing. Kendrick if he drops, there are artists like that. But there's no like real collective that like you're just they're constantly there. They're dominating. There's no bad boy. There's no good music. There's no inner scope. No one is really doing
for sure. And actually, I want to bring up a good point. You bring up all those labels. We saw, like, and we were talking about it earlier, the issues that Def Jam has been having with its rosters. We talked about, Logic wanting to leave and all these other artists wanting to leave and Ye wanting to leave. And you see all these different type of artists having issues with it. If it keeps up at this point, the only artist that's going to be signed to Def Jam is going to be Justin Bieber. I don't know how Def Jam landed Justin Bieber in the first place.
I had no idea he was even on Def Jam.
But if it keeps up at this point, he's going to be the only consistent artist keeping the lights on at Def Jam.
Yeah,
and he's not even really hip hop, so
yeah, and he hasn't really. Justin Bieber is always going to do numbers, but like it's not going to be to a point where it's anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like at least in my opinion, and you're right, Coop. You said it. He's not hip hop. He's not steering the ship for hip hop. I don't know what the ship really is being steered by. Can we really say it's being led by Drake? Can we really say Drake is the guy that's
because if you think about it, Drake is only himself. OVO has nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody. He put nobody on.
Yeah, he doesn't put anybody on. He basically just uses them for
I got a hot take though.
He bites their flow for a little while, bites their songs,
and
then he gets rid of them.
Yeah, I got a hot take on this one then.
What?
See, I think by doing that, he's actually putting a lot of people on. But
okay. We had this comparison last time with who's that new dude you're talking about, the R&B dude that starts with G?
Giveon.
Giveon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about Giveon. All that looks he's getting from Drake and stuff like that. That's good for him for a little bit. What happened to Sampha? Sampha was popping for a year and a half after that. Now his sales have gone down. His monthly listeners have gone down.
Well, I mean, like the Sampha drop music like that though? No.
Sampha does drop music like that. What
but-
about
but-
Dave as well too? You know what I mean?
Isn't he not like I don't know? Isn't the label the ones that are not letting them drop music?
Well, that's like a whole nother conversation if you think the labels are the ones holding them back or if it's like the artist. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what like the answer to that be. Like, look, I haven't heard anything from Sampha in a really long time. Maybe you're right, Nat. Maybe he's been dropping music and it's going under the radar. But like, I can't remember the last time. I know Sampha dropped an album in I think like 2018, 2017, and I listened to it. It was a good album.
Yeah, it was an amazing album.
Yeah. No one knows me like piano. Yeah, like that song bangs, bro.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm like the majority of people we don't listen to Sampha. So you can give those sound bites, but like it's not really happening.
That's crazy. But that actually brings up a really good point where it's like nowadays, if you want to actively listen to an artist and follow up with an artist, you have to do it yourself. Like,
oh yeah,
there's really no crazy type of promotion that's going to be put into it unless it's like a Kanye West, unless it's like a Kendrick Lamar, unless it's a Drake and everybody knows about it. You know, if you're following a small artist like a Giveon or a Sampha or something like that, you're going to have to actively follow them in order to figure out when they're dropping music. You have to be a dedicated listener.
Yeah, that's actually a good point you brought up because I started realizing that even the Spotify's, they don't show me the new albums anymore of actually like the people that I want to see or everyone. It's only selectivized ones, like, and they don't change it. Like, I'm like, bro, like 5 albums dropped of people that I actually want to listen to and everything, but you're not even putting it as a new album that's dropped.
Exactly.
They don't. It's because the algorithms changed like recently. Like when you first got like Apple Music and you got Spotify, and it was in the beginning days of the streaming service. When they treated your algorithm like they would treat YouTube. So if you listen to a certain song, they recommend certain albums. You listen to a certain YouTube video, you get certain videos recommended. Same thing, Apple, Spotify, new music comes out, it'll be on your page. They'll let you know, they'll give you a notification, they'll put it up there. I was very disappointed, like when I couldn't find Big Sean's album on the main page for Spotify and Apple Music. The same thing with Nas. Like, how are they dropping the ball so much on these artists? And I realized that now they're moving towards like playlisting. You look at like Spotify and Apple Music, it's literally just radio playlists now.
And honestly, their playlist quality sucks now. Like I don't like listening to Rap Caviar anymore or anything. Yeah. It's not the Caviar.
Rap Caviar is so trash. It's just label influence.
It's the Caviar of like mumble rap.
It's rap. It's not even Rap Caviar. It's like rap sardines or like rap whatever. You know, like
I think you guys should listen to the No Good podcast.
It's rap whoever wants to pay to be on this list.
More like rap fish eggs, bro. More like rap chicken's feet. You know, or like you know,
okay,
yeah, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, listen. Nah, you guys bring up a lot of good points. It just seems like the industry is in like, and I think it goes back to the point I was saying a little bit where it's like, we don't know what the direction this industry is going in. There's no one really leading the ship. There's no one steering it, moving us into any sort of direction. It's just kind of a free for all. Everybody's doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
That goes back to the whole numbers game. Nat, you got some numbers for us or what?
I got some numbers for you, man. We got, we talked about Lil Tecca having a sophomore album. And, the first week sales weren't that good, man. His debut album sold 70,000 first week units. And Virgo World sold 35,000 first week. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit, almost less than half in terms of the sales. You guys heard about the sophomore slump. I do feel for him a little bit because, he's still a youngin'. He's still like 17, 18, 19, around that age. And he's missed a lot of like his public appearances. I think the album really hurt him and hurt his feelings because he's more like sheltered in now. I know he's supposed to be on Everyday Struggle this past week and a few other platforms, but his management had to cancel those interviews because of the reception that he's been getting from the album. So I do feel for him that time, the sophomore slump. It's very hard to deal with. But hey, man, album it wasn't what it was, man. There was no hit singles on there. That's what you get for stealing LB Spiffy Shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a very forgettable album. It was a very forgettable album.
Very forgettable.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you also got YG in here. I
Oh
want to give a
yeah.
shout out to YG because he's been very consistent out of his career, selling between 50 to 100K on a majority of his projects. And this last one, he dropped his fifth studio album, My Life 4Hunnid, sold approximately 65,000 units first week. And for
That's
YG,
good.
that's really
That's
good.
not that good for YG, no.
No, I
No,
think that's pretty good in
that's
terms
pretty
of
good for
consistent.
YG.
He didn't have like any really big singles on there, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like before. We've both seen I think all three of us might have seen YG perform, maybe back at OVO Fest if we were all there. I'm pretty sure all of us were there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Very consistent, man. From that time on, like he's still relevant in the game, and for
I
him
think he's
to sell that was
consistent
good.
with producing his albums and his numbers and everything. But to be honest, for me personally, I feel like his albums have been degrading, like in like
I think in the
songs and everything now.
quality of the music, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But like maybe it's also just like we've kind of the honeymoon phase of YG has really worn off, and it's not like he's evolved as an artist as much. It's pretty much
Yeah.
dropped the same type of music, so it's not like he's changed
Hmm. Hmm.
in any type of way, you know. So I think that's like a negative towards him, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think it's pretty good considering now that we're seeing this mass like exodus of artists trying to go like more
Hmm.
independent and do their own thing. I think YG has one album left that he's owed on his label and then he's out. But just to come full circle again to like all these labels and what they do, it's not really needed anymore. Like a Def Jam's not really needed. An Interscope's not really needed because in order of signing these artists, they have to have a certain level of clout before they get to
Hmm.
that level and before they're even intrigued in signing them. And like I was saying, man, a lot of these labels have been dropping the ball, man. Like it's been really, really bad. You have Paul Rosenberg dropping the ball over there at Def Jam. What I would recommend is having actual like artists, people who are A&Rs for the streets to go over there and work on Def Jam to increase the legacy. Have Rose
Hmm.
go be, A&R over there, go run it over there. Have Fat Joe go over there.
Didn't Khaled get hired by someone?
See,
Really?
he wanted a certain position and they told him no. They
Right.
told Khaled no, you know what I mean? Khaled, out of all people, the person who's like literally the A&R for the streets can get any feature he wants, told him no.
Wow.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's probably a big issue with this whole industry. That's
Yeah.
a huge industry. I'm
I
sorry.
guess I'll end that whole Def Jam thing by saying, man, yo, Russell, when you sold Def Jam, it's been downhill ever since that time. He sold it and it's never been the same.
Well,
Revolving door for artists, mismanaging of 2 Chainz, good music, yay, everybody. You had so much artists and this mismanagement, Interscope, a lot of these other labels, the same thing as for them as well too.
mhm.
But we're gonna see a change coming soon, man. A lot of independent artists, mass exodus.
Hopefully, like I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think is the even benefit right now of signed to a label? Like because you can easily get clout off Instagram, TikTok, or any of these social media platforms yourself now, right?
Yeah, I think the benefit of being signed to a label right now is
Hmm.
more so for artists that don't necessarily want to go with the whole clout chasing route, or like they don't want to go with the
Hmm.
whole like make a funny video. You know, they're probably not the greatest with their Instagrams or with their
Hmm.
social games.
Yes.
Right?
Hmm.
I think that's probably a good reason to sign with a label, to get a backing, to get appearances and things like that. If you don't have
Hmm.
necessarily connections in the game, that's probably a reason to go and sign to a label. But other than
So
that, I don't. I
let
don't
me ask you this: why not just sign to a media agency that just does marketing for you?
Yeah, that's
well,
a good. And
wait, wasn't that a thing? Like 6ix9ine did that, right?
six
Yeah,
nine did that at the beginning.
I think Lil Uzi did
Uzi
too.
did that as well to the beginning. They signed to an SMMA, and basically that kind of helped them get the clout to get to a bigger label. But it doesn't work for a lot of artists. Like if you don't have charisma, you just have good music.
Hmm.
Like if you're not like showboaty and don't have like appealing to other people, it's kind of hard to go to SMMA, and do that because you kind of need to have a certain like persona to get that type of cloud, that type of
You sort of
engagement.
have to sell your soul too by doing
Yeah,
stupid
you gotta
shit.
sell your soul to be honest.
Yeah.
And you see it done really bad. Like you have people go way overboard. You have people like 6ix9ine focus so much more on that side and the antic side, And then you see his album sales. You have people go too far over. I know Lil Pump as well too. He joined a social media marketing agency when he really
Oh
wants
yeah, he did too.
get popping. We came across the people a few times when we were doing our music. As I won't give the name out here, but we can talk off screen about which company it was. And we already know how much they charge. They charge like at least minimum of $5,000 to even have a serious conversation like that and change your career. But we see people like Lil Pump, 6ix9ine go too far over on that side, and then people don't want to hear your music. The album sales are suffering. You see 6ix9ine sell what 30,000 first week, 35,000 first week. Lil Pump, millions of followers, can't even sell like 30,000 for his album. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how far he can go on that side of the spectrum.
Yeah, because followers don't really follow them for the music; they're following them because they're a meme.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys don't understand that.
They don't understand that people love to see people's downfall. Like a lot of people tune in just to be haters, and they mix that up with being like, followers and fans, and people are going to buy your albums. It's a lot of people like to see destruction. It's like when you're on the highway and you're wondering why there's traffic, why is everyone slowing down? Everyone's looking to the accident on their shoulder, slowing down. Oh, that's what happened. There's no road traffic going around. People like destruction.
True.
That's true.
All right. But that's it. I go for all the numbers, man. That's all the numbers that we have for this week. We have 6ix9ine coming out of the hospital. He's in better spirits now.
Oh, he's in the hospital. Wow.
Yeah. He's had a lot of complications. I don't know. People are like dancing around it. A lot of people are saying his mental health needs to be better. The anxiety of him realizing like, his followers aren't, as demanding and aren't supportive. But at least it's good. He was seen outside today taking fans, pictures with the fans. Just being with the people, but that's it, man. What do you guys think?
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I guess that's what it is, man. That's the state of hip hop this week.
State of hip hop this week. Just before we go, we got breaking news. We got my homie 4Hunnid. We're gonna play a little sample right now of that new song that we messing with him right here. But man, 4Hunnid, man, is currently being held in county jail in New Jersey after being arrested for assault on Saturday. So we'll have to hear more details about what's happening and what's going on, but it's tough to see, the Pop Smoke passing and then 4Hunnid having such a bright future. I hope the charges get dropped, or he did the actual act that was committed and just like it's a mishap. But to see this happen within the 4-month period of all this, it's a little bit devastating for me, man. He has a good career on his shoulder.
Yeah. It's a whirlwind, and I think he brings a lot of excitement to the game. Like, I think he has a lot of potential. So,
for sure,
it's kind of sad to see it go this way, but I think there's still a way for it to recover.
Yeah, man. It gives hopes for people like me, man. Who leave the game and then get popping when they're 30 and stuff like that, and finally get their shine. So, when I come up retirement at 30 and I do the shows, then we'll see, man. But yeah, that's it, man. That's hip hop in this week. We thought I'd give you guys a little recap. We want to thank Coop coming on here, giving us his breakdown and his experience.
Yeah, thank you, Coop. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, man. Until next time, it's the voice of No Good Podcast. We'll see you guys soon.